Judaism does not equal Zionism. Zionism does not equal Judaism. They are different things. There is overlap between them for some people.
Sure.
But they are not the same things. And to question what Zionism is doing and has done is not anti-Semitic.
Right. We're not questioning their value as individuals or humans.
Yes, yeah. We're not saying that everything is the fault of the Jews when we're talking about Zionism. These are separate terms.
This could just be my simple-mindedness, but like the Palestinian versus Hamas, like that's different. The people who did the attack on October 7th were Hamas, right?
Yes.
So how can we say this has been happening? I'm just trying to search for understanding. Like this has been happening to Palestinians, like just the normal inhabitants of West Bank and Gaza.
Yeah.
And then this has all been brewing, but Hamas are the ones doing the attack, which in my mind is a different faction of that area or those people. Like, because this is my understanding of Hamas. Like, it's a separate faction of like terrorists.
Yeah.
But I could have the wrong understanding.
And it's a great thought and a great question. And my question to you and to anyone listening who's thinking the same thing would be, who is Hamas? Who's making up Hamas?
Yeah.
Who are the members of Hamas and how did they get there?
I'll ask you right back.
Well, we're going to come back to it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Here's what happened, according to chat, on October 7th, 2023. Hamas and allied groups launched a surprise, large-scale attack from Gaza into southern Israel. Militants broke through the border fence, stormed Israeli towns, kibbutzim, and a music festival, and taking more than 200 hostages back to Gaza. Let's all remember, let's ground ourselves here for a second. We are coming at this. We are not Israelis. We are not Palestinians. We do not live in the Middle East. We are not Jews. We are not Arabs. We are not Muslims. We do not practice Judaism. So we do not know how things have happened and why they happen and the history. Like, I'm learning all of this through a Google search. So one of the first questions I asked was, because I hear people are kidnapped and they've taken hostages. And I was like, wait, has this ever happened before? Historical perspective. Prior to October 7th, at least half a dozen major incidents and many smaller ones involved kidnappings or captures being used to force negotiations between the countries.
This is how they operate with each other.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have done the kidnapping and capturing thing back and forth. We know 200 people have been taken hostage by Hamas that are Israelis or foreign nationals even. Let's talk about, has Israel kidnapped or taken captive any Palestinians? As of September, early October 2023, the same year, there were 5,200 to 5,300 Palestinians in prison. 1,200 to 1,300 of them are held without any charges. 160 to 170 of them are children. Hundreds were serving long or multiple life sentences for attacks on Israelis. Attacks can include throwing rocks at tanks. Detainees can be held indefinitely without trial, and that's renewable every 6 months. Arrest raids in the West Bank had been intensifying throughout 2023, with thousands of people detained in the months leading up to October 7th. Thousands of people swiped, kidnapped, gone. But they took 200. And I'm not comparing apples to apples. I'm kind of weirded out by the idea of being taken captive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that doesn't sit well. I'm not trying to justify that this is okay. But this is historically how they've dealt with each other. And if we are looking at the numbers here, Israel has more power. They can do whatever they want. They don't have to answer to anybody. They're not being abused by the other side. And they've taken exponentially more people. By Palestinian counts, over the years since 1967, more than 800,000 Palestinians have been imprisoned by Israel at some point. And 67, I mean, my parents were born before that. So we're talking my generation,
Yeah.
my kids, and my parents. Since that time, 800,000 Palestinians. Do you remember some of the first things that you heard happened on October 7th? Some of the big headlines. Did you hear about the beheaded babies?
Yeah.
Did you hear about the rapes, disembowelment? Did you hear about that?
Mm-hmm.
So that is what we all heard at first. Every single one of those has been disproved. No babies were beheaded.
Really?
No women were raped. No one was disemboweled. And let's keep in mind, Israel's one of the largest, most powerful, most well-funded militaries on the planet. Palestinians are living in an apartheid state. Their actions are controlled. Their food is controlled. Their water is controlled. They are being beaten. They are being murdered. They are being bombed for no reason all the time. They cannot practice their faith in peace. They cannot live in peace and health. And for as long as they can remember, it has been this way. At the hand of Israel. And also keep in mind, too, Palestinians may have been there first, but now it's the state of Israel. Israel is the government.
Mm-hmm.
Israel's the police. Israel's the military. They're refugees in their own country. How do you have are there American refugees in America? How does that even work?
Yeah.
That just again, big picture, how this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And is red flags all over the place. So let's just go through what modern day Gaza looked like prior to October 7th. It's among the most densely populated places on the planet. Many people refer to it as an open air prison, and they have for decades. But to say prison implies that there are prisoners, people who've done something wrong. So then they started trying to change the verbiage to open air concentration camp. Israel controlled food and water coming in and out, ingredients, medicines, fuel, everything's controlled by Israel. 95% of their water was undrinkable because either their wells were being bombed by Israel or salt water was being mixed with their water so they couldn't drink it. Exit permits for medical emergencies often delayed or denied. Certain places, routes, Palestinians can't go. A lot of their farms, like their ancestral farmland that they have worked their entire existence, was outside of the wall. Mm. And so to get outside of the wall, they only allowed them to go at certain times of the year for so many days. And often then when they would go, they would not be approved and not be able to get a harvest, not be allowed to work their land, not be allowed to do anything with that property. They had 4 to 12 hours a day of electricity. Israel's controlling the electricity coming in and out. Meanwhile, Israel, who's on the other side of the wall, is one of the wealthiest countries in the world.
Really?
With no issues. So it's clearly being done to them. It's not for a lack of resources that these things are happening. It's being chosen for them. They would have rolling blackouts all the time, super heavy surveillance, religious persecution, constant. So if you go look at just Google, what happened in the days prior to October 7th? It was just another day for the Palestinians. Israeli soldiers come into a mosque and just start beating the shit out of people for no reason. And do you know that all Israelis serve in the military? Mm-hmm. Men, women, both. Mm-hmm. And so everyone has had the opportunity to serve in the West Bank and Gaza to 2 a.m. middle of the night, decide they're going to raid this Palestinian house, scare the bejeebies out of every child, person, grandmother living in there, make them huddle into a corner of a room, take over the house, and go on a watch. Sit there and watch the other Palestinian houses for no reason. They're terrorizing them.
Which is an interesting twist of the plot.
Yeah. So this has been going on for forever. And problems are happening in the West Bank, too. They're not as severe as Gaza at all times, but there's like right now, they're still burning villages for no reason. Israelis will come through and light everything on fire. They'll come through, settlers will come in, fully armed, these little militia groups of Israeli people who think this is our land and we're going to take it. They'll come in fully armed and say, get out. This isn't your house anymore. This is my house. And they just like get shot or leave. Constantly happening. Again, pushing the borders is still doing the thing. They hate them. The Israelis have been trained to hate the Palestinians. It's a long-going narrative that all Palestinians are terrorists, and even the children are going to turn into terrorists, so they're all terrorists. The women are going to breed and make more terrorists, and so we need to get rid of them. We need them to go away. And even there's tons of footage too, Google it, in Israeli schools. If a teacher brings up the subject of Palestinians, they'll ask these little children, 7, 8, 9-year-old kids, if they ever came across a Palestinian, what would they do? I'd probably shoot him. I'd probably kill him. All the things they would do. And then the teacher's grinning, like, aren't we doing a good job in teaching these kids how to function in the world? And if you ever were to go to Israel and take a tour, if they ever take you to that side, taxi cab drivers, tour guides are constantly telling the foreigners or the visitors or whoever, don't talk to Palestinians. They'll rape you. They'll kill you. They'll murder you. They're terrorists. So there's this narrative going on where Israelis are terrified of Palestinians and to the point where they hate them.